I know that China is doing very poorly right now. I just saw some reports coming out, and I don't want that to happen to China. I like the president a lot, but they are getting absolutely hammered in China. I hope we're going to make a deal with China. We're talking to China, but their factories are closing all over China because we're not taking their product. We don't want their product unless they're going to be fair with us. I want every country to do well, but they have to treat us fairly also.
So when President Trump just said China's doing poorly right now, he was kind of giving a nod to a report showing overall manufacturing activity in China this month was the weakest in more than a year and a half. This as Beijing has now reportedly released a list of U.S.-made goods that will be exempt from the country's 125% tariff. On Friday, Reuters reported that China has already granted tariff exemptions on certain U.S. products, including select pharmaceuticals, microchips, and aircraft engines. But the country is still denying any trade talks at all with the U.S. as it clings to its, quote, fight till the end messaging. Joining me now, Heritage Foundation Senior Fellow for China Strategy, Michael Pillsbury, who, of course, has advised President Trump on China. He's the author of the book, The 100-Year Marathon. Michael, the president has said that he's spoken to Xi, the Chinese leader. Xi has said, or at least the Chinese spokespeople have said, nope, there have been no conversations. Listen, we got to be inclined to not believe China. They lie a lot. But every time the President Trump has been pushed on, well, when did you speak to Xi? Because we know you've had conversations over the past couple of years. He has not clarified. What's really happening, if you could guess, behind the scenes?
Well, the most important thing is that President Xi did call Trump to congratulate him. President Trump then put out a tweet or a Truth Social post describing in a very optimistic way how he hoped to cooperate on solving many global problems with his friend, President Xi Jinping. So that's a very upbeat phone call that I believe President Xi Jinping initiated to call. It was a call to congratulating him, you know, on becoming president of the United States.
Right, but that
again.
was months ago. That was months ago. So do you think that there has been a phone conversation between the two? Come on.
Well, President Trump is very coy about this, as you know, so he doesn't want to talk about it, I think for very good reasons. In the first round, first term, the trade talks took almost 2 years to get started. It's very, very delicate to try to entice the Xi Jinping and his team to meet with the American team, start having a draft and pass the draft back and forth for 13 rounds, Liz, of meetings in Beijing or in Washington. That was very, very hard to get started. The Chinese resisted like crazy. They did not want to be drawn in to a web of agreements that compromise their system. Their system is based on what they call national champions. It's about 100 Chinese companies that are now the largest in the world, often in various sectors, including banking. And these national champions have Communist Party members appointed to be the head of each company. They get massive subsidies, billions and billions of subsidies, and they're around the world building ports, airports, you name it, selling energy. So this is the Chinese system that President Trump understands very well. But when you ask China to cut tariffs, you're challenging the national champion system. So the way to do this is not to have public talks and say, I just talked to Xi Jinping yesterday and he made a big concession, because what that does, it stimulates the ferocious nature of Chinese politics, and somebody will try to overthrow President Xi Jinping for being too soft.
Listen, Xi is not a dumb man. He does not want to ruin his whole economy. The executive director of the LA ports, in essence, said that shipments coming from China have virtually ceased. That's got to be hurting them. That's got to be really hurting them. Is it hurting them enough to push them to the table?
Probably not yet. And I'll teach you a phrase in Chinese you can use wherever you like. It's about how much pain we Chinese can suffer and still fight our way through. The phrase is 吃苦. 吃 means to eat, and 苦 means bitterness. It's a very strong, bitter flavor. We Chinese, 很会吃苦. We can really eat bitterness far more than you Americans can. This is what's now being told to 1.4 billion people on television every day in China. Get ready for the fight. This is a patriotic struggle against the Americans who are trying to choke us to death. That's another term they use, choke us to death. Man. This is the way it's being presented in China. So it makes it very hard for Xi Jinping to make any concessions, at least in public. He's got to do it quietly, and that's why President Trump, I think, is being so discreet about what is going on.
This is why people need to listen to you, Michael. You've been on the ground. You know their psychology. Say that choke to death again in Mandarin.
吃苦,
吃苦.
吃苦, eat bitterness.
Oh, boy. Lovely.
President Trump knows all this. President Trump's very close to Xi Jinping. They've met together in 5 summits, Liz. They exchanged letters back and forth. So President Trump knows a lot about Xi Jinping, and I think Xi Jinping knows a lot about President Trump. So a deal is still quite possible, but both sides have got to do more of this, what shall we say, coy language back and forth before we can strike a deal.
Well, battle of the egos, battle of the power units here. We'll be watching it. Thank you for the insight, Michael. It's great to see you.
Thanks, Liz.